Welcome to day 17 from your 28 days of yoga. We're going to start today in Sukhasana, easy seated pose, with our palms on our knees but facing outwards, facing up, receiving that loving energy from the universe. Bring your shoulders up, pull them back, and drop them down, grounding down into the earth from the base of your spine and reaching up to the sky from the crown of your head. Taking slower and deeper breaths here, in and out through your nose. Inhale your hands up above your head, interlacing your fingers, and then turn to your right as much as you can, and then you can drop your hands down. On every inhale, sitting up taller, and every exhale, twisting a bit more. Feel free to look behind you if that's okay with your neck. And on your next inhale, reach your hands up to the sky and release your fingers with the opposite pinky on top and turn towards your left as much as you can. And then drop your hands down. Sitting up nice and tall, and each inhale getting more length in your spine. And on every exhale, getting deeper into the twist. Inhale your arms up to the sky, interlace your fingers, tuck your chin into your chest, and bring your hand behind your head. You do not want to pull on your neck. You're just using your hands for added weight and stretching out the back of your neck. Just keep sitting up nice and tall as you do this, keeping a nice straight spine, except for the very top at your neck, then it bends forward. And then inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And we're going to bring our right hand to our left ear and our left hand out to our side. Now, before we come into the stretch, again, just like in our last pose, I don't want you to pull on your neck. Your neck is very fragile. We have to be very gentle with our necks. This hand is just there to help guide the stretch and add a little bit of extra weight to help you get deeper into your stretch. So you're not yanking or pulling on your neck. And now we're going to bring our right ear to our right shoulder. You can move around your neck at different angles, and you can reach this left hand around. And you'll notice as you move, you're going to be stretching different parts of your neck. If you find a sweet spot, you can stay there for a moment. Do whatever feels good for you in your practice. A nice stretch in the side of our neck. Keeping your body nice and tall, still sitting up straight, and stretching out your neck. Then you can relax a bit more into it. Now taking your right hand, your neck and your left hand are going to still do the keep stretching how they are. But with your right fingertips, reach as far as you can to the base of your neck and bring your hands with all of your fingers gently rubbing up your neck, giving yourself a little massage as you stretch your neck. So pressing your fingertips into your neck and dragging your hand up to your head. Doing it very gently. And then inhale your arms up. Bring your left hand to your right ear, your right hand down to your side, and then your left ear to your left shoulder. Taking that same stretch on the opposite side. You can move your neck and your hand around, finding a nice stretch. Then we're going to take the fingertips of our left hand, reach all the way to the base of our neck, and gently drag our hand up to our head, going back to the base of your neck and dragging it up, giving yourself a little massage, being very gentle on your neck. And then inhale, raise your arms all the way up and bring your hands down onto your knees. Now we're going to take some circles on our neck. So you want to turn your head to the right, look down, turn your head to the left, and look up. Just making some slow, gentle circles on your neck, going in one direction. And then going in the opposite direction. And then coming back to center in Sukhasana. Now look down, take your fingertips with both hands, coming down to your shoulders, and then just dragging them up over your neck and to your head, giving your neck a massage. You can just kind of go however you want to here, just remembering to be gentle with your neck. And then coming around to the front of your neck, starting towards the top of your chest, and gently bringing your fingertips up towards your jaw, being very gentle, massaging your neck. And then we're going to meet each other in table pose. Your hands and your wrists are beneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. Tops of your feet pressing into the ground. Inhale, look up, arch your back. And exhale, round your back, tuck your chin into your chest. Inhaling, coming into cow, looking up. And exhaling into cat, tucking your chin into your chest and rounding your back. So keep going with your cat-cows in time with your own breath. And then meet me back in table. Inhale your right hand all the way up to the sky, and then thread it through underneath your left arm, coming onto your right shoulder. Breathing here for a moment, and then reaching your right hand all the way back up to the sky and placing it back down in table. And you're going to inhale your left hand all the way up, thread it underneath your right arm, coming onto your left shoulder. Keep your hips level behind you, and then reach your left hand all the way back up, placing your hand back down. So from table, we're going to slide our hands forward, keeping our hips and our knees and our legs just where they are. Slide, slide, slide forward into puppy pose. We're going to keep our chin on the mat, so we're looking up. And if that's too intense for you, you can always put your forehead on the mat instead. Then we're going to slide using your core, slide your hands not all the way back into table, about a hand print in front of where they were in table. Bend your feet and come up into downward facing dog. Bending both your knees, bring your stomach to your thighs, press down into the ground with all 10 fingers, twisting your biceps outward, and straighten your legs. You can bicycle your legs, bending one knee and then the other. And then we're going to lift our right leg all the way up and step it in between our hands. Lining up our front heel with our back heel, pointing our back toes diagonally towards the left side of the mat and keeping our ankle directly below our knee, coming up into warrior one. And then come back down, put your hands on either side of your foot, step back, either take a vinyasa with me or meet me in downward facing dog. So if you're taking a vinyasa, you're going to bend your elbows into chaturanga, press up into cobra or upward facing dog, and press back into downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up, step it through, coming into warrior one on the opposite side. So standing up and then coming back down, taking a vinyasa or meeting me right back in downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up, step it in between your hands, and this time we're going to come into warrior two. So line up your back arch of your back foot with the heel of your front foot. Your back toes are parallel with the back of the mat, so they're facing towards the side. And open up into warrior two. Keeping weight in your back foot and your front foot, and your knee is directly above your ankle. Arms are out in a T, and your gaze is directly towards over your right hand. And then inhale, reverse your warrior. We'll keep reversing that warrior, straighten the front leg while you're here. And then reach forward until you can't reach forward anymore. Bring your hand down and your left hand up into triangle pose. Keep pressing into that back foot, reaching up to the sky with that left hand. If it's okay on your neck, you can turn up and look at your left hand. And then come back into warrior two. Windmill your arms down. Either take a vinyasa or come right into downward facing dog. So bend your arms into chaturanga, press up into up dog, and back into downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up, step it through, and come into warrior two on the opposite side. Opening up, and then reverse your warrior. Keep reversing and straighten that front leg. And then reach forward until you can't reach anymore and drop down into triangle pose. Come back into warrior two. Windmill your arms down. Either take a vinyasa or meet me back in downward facing dog. Now we're going to bring our forearms onto the mat. You can come on your knees and reset up if that's easier for you. Clasp your hands. Now we are in dolphin pose. The dolphin pose is very similar to down dog, except your forearms are on the ground. And now we're going to bring our arms back off the ground and come back into downward facing dog. And again, we're going to come into dolphin pose, so bending your arms. And coming back into down dog. Feel free to take your knees, come onto your knees during those transitions if you need some extra help, if it's a bit too tricky today. And come back onto your forearms into dolphin. And then back into down dog. And one more time on your forearms into dolphin. And we're going to straighten our legs behind us, coming into dolphin plank. Engage your core. Keep a nice long spine, straight line from the crown of your head to the base of your spine. And then lower your stomach onto the ground, keeping your chest lifted up in a Sphinx pose. Look all the way up. And then you can come all the way down, resting your forehead on the ground or on your hands. Then we're going to set our palms up for a plank pose and press up into plank. Holding here for a moment. Then roll off onto the pinky toe side of your right foot, opening up, stacking your hips, coming into side plank. And then back to regular plank. Roll off onto the pinky toe side of your left foot and open up into side plank on the opposite side. Come back into regular plank. Roll off onto the right side plank. And then step your left foot back. Bring your right foot flat on the ground, opening up into wild thing. And then come back to your right side plank. Come back to normal plank. Roll off onto your left side, taking left side plank. Bring your right foot flat on the ground, your left foot flat on the ground, opening up into wild thing. And then come back into your left side plank, back into your normal plank, and press up into downward facing dog. Bring your knees down to the ground and reach out forward, coming back into puppy pose. You can have your chin on the ground or your forehead. And then slide your butt down to your legs into child's pose. Take your hips off to the right. Reach your arms over to the left. Come back to center. Bring your hips off to the left and your arms over to the right. Come back to center. And then we're going to turn around and come onto our backs, setting up for bridge pose. So your knees are bent. Your feet are parallel to each other. about hips width apart, but you can mess around and play with your stance and how wide you want your legs. But no matter where your stance is, you want your big toes to slightly point in towards each other to protect your knees when you're in this pose. And then we're going to bring our hands to our sides, lift up our hips. Before we lift up our hips, make sure once you're up in the pose, your neck doesn't move. So keep staring straight up at the sky. And when you're in the pose, don't turn your head from side to side. Keep your head nice and stable. You want to protect your neck. So keep looking up at the sky, lift your hips, and then interlace your hands underneath your bum. So you can roll your shoulders under you, grounding into the earth with both your feet. Breathing here. And then lower your hips back to the earth. Bring your soles of your feet together and your knees apart. Bring your hand onto your stomach and your other hand on your heart. Breathing here. And then we're going to step back up and take another bridge pose. So lift your hips up to the sky. Keep your gaze straight up at the sky. Interlace your hands underneath your back and roll your shoulders under you. Grounding down through all four corners of both your feet. And then coming back down, bring the soles of your feet together, your knees apart, a hand on your tummy and a hand on your heart. Breathing here. And we're going to step back up for bridge pose. So I'm going to give you an option to take wheel. If you were a cheerleader like myself, wheel pose is what you actually would call a bridge in cheerleading. But let me demonstrate for you before you try it. So watch me do it once and then decide whether or not you're going to try to take a wheel this time. And if you don't want to do it, totally cool. Just take another bridge. But before you try it, just watch me. So your feet are the same as they are in bridge, but your palms of your hands, you're going to put them on the ground. So your fingertips are pointing towards your body. Your elbows are pointing up to the sky. Your hands are on either side of your head. And you're going to straighten your arms as you lift your hips up. This is wheel pose. Make sure that your big toes are slightly pointed in towards each other. And then when you come down, slowly, gently come down. So now it's your turn, my friend. If you want to, go ahead and just take another bridge pose. But if you want to come all the way up into wheel, now is your chance. So set your hands up, lift up, straighten your arms, coming into wheel. Breathing here. When you're in wheel, you're looking directly behind you. And then slowly come down. And this time we're going to hug our legs into our chest. Bring your hands out into a T. Drop your legs off to the right and look over your left. Come back through center and then drop your legs off to the left, looking over your right. Come back in towards center. Grab the pinky toe sides of your feet with your hands and pull your knees in towards your elbows, coming into happy baby. And rock side to side. If you wanna. Now, if you want to, you can straighten one leg and bend it, and then straighten the other leg and bend it, and then straighten both legs and bend them, and hug your knees into your chest. Then take some circles on our lower back. And if there's any other movements, poses, practices, anything else you want to do before meeting me in Shavasana, now is your chance. Otherwise, meet me in Shavasana, our final resting pose, the most important pose of your practice. This is where all the benefits of everything else we worked on are going to sink in. So relax your body. Let go of anything you're holding on to. Release any thoughts. Clear your mind. And just be. Shavasana. Begin making small movements in your fingers and in your toes, rolling out your wrists and your ankles. Reach your hands above your head. Take a nice big stretch before rolling off onto your side. Taking as much time as you need before meeting me back in Sukhasana. Bring your hands together at heart center. To end our practice, I want to chant an Om with you. Om is the sound of the universe, the sound of all creation. It's a healing vibration, and Om is chanted in 4 parts. So you may have seen it spelled out O-M, or you have also probably seen A-U-M. So the 4 parts of Om is Ah, O, M. At at the end, you're supposed to take a sacred silence. So you wait in a little silence, and that's a complete Om. So we're going to chant Om 3 times together. So bring your hands to heart center and join in with me. You can close your eyes if you want to. Take a deep breath in. Om. 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 Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to the universe, and be kind to all life everywhere. Namaste. That was day 17, and I will see you back here tomorrow for day 18.